This is TSN.
Getting ready to get on the right track in Rexdale, Ontario. This is the Sports Network, coast to coast.
You're watching TSN, Canada's leader in motorsport coverage.
San Marino is Ferrari country, and the Tifosi have waited 13 long years for a victory. Jacques Villeneuve has been very outspoken about the future of Formula One racing. Presently, he's the man to beat and is looking for his third consecutive victory, while veterans Gerhard Berger and Johnny Herbert will both reach milestones today. Get ready for the sparks to fly at Imola. Formula One on TSN is presented by the Players Grand Prix of Canada and is proud to bring you round 4 of the 1997 Formula One World Championship from Imola in northern Italy. Hi, everybody, and welcome to TSN's continuing coverage of World Championship Auto Racing. I'm Darren Ditution. We are glad you joined us for the San Marino Grand Prix. 15 years ago, in 1982 in San Marino, Gilles Villeneuve raced for the final time on the F1 circuit, which is quite the story in itself. The next race in Belgium, Gilles was killed in a horrific crash, but his legacy lives on in the form of his son, Jacques Villeneuve, who is only in his second season on the F1 circuit, but yet has managed to become the sport's most dominant driver and has matched his father in terms of career victories with 6. Earlier this week, Jacques Villeneuve was extremely outspoken on the future of F1.
When you do a sport like this, when you want to become a race car driver, it's because you see race car drivers, you know, you're a kid and you see all the other race car drivers as, in a way, superheroes, you know, they just keep pushing their limits and so on, and you're just impressed. And you get that in so many other sports. But that's when you reach a level where you have to push yourself as human being to overcome maybe your fears, maybe I don't know, it could be anything. And Formula One is getting to a point where you reach the limit of the car, of the material, before you even reach your human side. So it becomes more of a show than a sport, and then reaching really deep. So you need stakes, you know, the stakes need to be high to get that, and you need a small sense of danger. It doesn't mean you don't want a big sense of danger. You know, nobody's looking to just kill themselves. That would be pure stupidity. But you need a small sense of danger, and that sense of danger is, on most tracks, disappeared.
What do you feel about the regulations for next season? You've had a glimpse of what the future is ahead in this test this week.
It scares me. It scares me because it's not going to be Formula One anymore, and I'm afraid that this level of racing will be destroyed and won't exist anymore. I managed to get one set of those grooved tires, 98 design, to test, so I would know what I'm talking about, because I've been talking about that for a while, and it's a joke. It's not pure anymore. It's, you know, they might as well just tell us buy Formula 3s and let's call it Formula One, and that's what it would be. It's leveling everything downwards, and anyone will be able to drive an F1 because the mechanical limit is so much lower than the human limit on that side that you don't get any rush, you don't get anything big out of it. And the problem is there's no precision in the driving. It's all numb, and there's not much you can do. You're just along for the ride, and you lose all the control over your car, basically. It's like being in a Formula Ford. It's, I think it's a big mistake. At least this year with the softer tires, it's pushed that barrier a little bit higher. So you have to push yourself. You have to find strength inside of yourself to really do those good laps, and that's interesting. It's become fun again. But from the 98 onward, if the regulations don't change, then that side is going to disappear. And yeah, it might be good for TV because all the lap times will be closer. But the mediocre driver will be very close to the very good driver, and you won't be able to tell a big difference because of that. So it's going to hide a lot of what should be the best in car racing. You will need the best drivers there. You'll need the best drivers in IndyCar, where it will still be the same type of racing.
Is going back to Imola a strange sensation? Mixed emotions going back there?
No, that's not the type of thing you think about. The only reason it might be is because I raced in Formula 3 for 3 years in Italy, and so we used to race on Imola. But that's about it. You don't think who killed himself here or who had an accident here, and that's just behind. It's when you're a racer, you know the risks you take and you go along with it.
And what do you think about the modern Imola circuit compared to the one that you raced in Formula 3?
It's one of the worst circuits. I mean, they just put chicanes everywhere. They had to react because it was the political good thing to do. So they've been seen to react. But now it's a disgusting track. It's not fun to drive, and it's not good for racing either. Yeah, it's safer.
By no means does he pull his punches now. Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Villeneuve's teammate, does not have the power nor the presence to criticize F1's governing body. He's more inclined to toe the company line as he disagrees wholeheartedly with Villeneuve. Frentzen likes the upcoming changes.
Jacques' decision about that Formula One is too safe at the moment. I and many of my colleagues won't agree with that, because the decision to make Formula One safer as it was before was made when we had these strategy accidents with Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger in '94 in Imola, and also the weekend after in Monaco when Karl Wendlinger, my teammate, was seriously injured in a practice accident. Many sponsors were thinking of quitting Formula One because of too much negative headlines and news, and therefore we all stick together to make Formula One a bit more safer. We formed the GPDA Driver Association, and the FIA worked with us together and to try to make Formula One safer, and that is the development of Formula One. And at the moment everybody is having positive experience from that, and including Jacques Villeneuve.
Well, Gerald Donaldson is in San Marino, and he joins us now live. Gerald, Jacques is very much his father's son when it comes to being outspoken. He criticized F1 severely this week. I was wondering, how were those criticisms taken?
Well, of course, Darren, the media ate it up, and it's been reported all over the world, quoting Jacques verbatim. It's not that he's trying to be controversial. He really does feel this way. And one of the fundamental characteristics Jacques has is that he insists on being genuine and saying what you think. So this is what he thinks. This is what he says. There's a suspicion around here that if he continues to speak this way, which puts himself in opposition with the rule makers, the governing body of the sport, he may be asked to please keep a little quieter on the topic, but that'll be hard because he likes to say what he thinks.
That's what I was going to say. Will he adhere to those rules? Because this is part of his intriguing personality. It is because he is so outspoken and he does speak his mind.
Well, yes, and of course it endears him to the media because most drivers are unwilling to behave this way. But Jacques is very much an individual in many different ways, and this the public finds attractive, and he goes against the grain, and he's also quick. If he wasn't fast and being on top of the game, of course nobody would listen to him. But everyone hangs on to his every word because he's the fastest driver out there so far this season.
Now, Gerald, rumors have also cropped up that Jacques Villeneuve is so disheartened with the upcoming changes that he might go back to the kart. And then I heard earlier this week as well that Frank Williams had exercised Jacques' option for 1998 and had signed him for another contract. Can you explain what's happening there?
Well, the contract has not yet been signed. It very likely will be because both parties, the Williams team and Jacques. They want to stay put. I'm sure he'll be in the Williams in 1998, and I don't think he'll be going back to Indy cars. He did hint that if Formula One insists on putting these silly and stupid rules in, as he calls them, if it does this, then it may no longer be called the pinnacle of motorsport, and that could become Indy cars. And if that happens, then any serious driver would have to look seriously at Indy cars instead of Formula One.
Thank you very much, Gerald. There are many topics to touch upon during the course of this next half hour. We will get back to you in a moment or two. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to show you the starting grid based upon yesterday's qualifying. You're watching F1 Racing on the Sports Network. Stay tuned.
Formula One Racing on TSN, presented by the Players Grand Prix of Canada, is brought to you by Molson Canadian, by Advantage, providing solutions for your business, by your Chrysler Canada dealer. We understand your vehicle. We understand you. By Castrol Syntex, full synthetic motor oil protects in ways other oils can't.
It's not just a cog in the machine. It's the jewel in the crown. It's not just remembrance of things past. It's the wave of the future. It's not just beer. It's dry.
Welcome back. They are on the formation lap of the San Marino Grand Prix. It has been 13 long years since the Tifosi have celebrated a Ferrari victory. Will that victory come today? Gerald Donaldson rejoins us from San Marino. And will the crowd have something to cheer about today, Gerald?
It could be
through the braking area anyway, and Villeneuve doesn't appear to have it exactly to his liking, and it's back to first four up, and Ralf Schumacher being the quickest one there at the moment, as you rightly say, Murray.
Pit lane news, James Allen. Oh, quick, just a minute, James, because out of the race already has gone Jan Magnussen into the gravel trap. What is your news? Thank you, James. We're on lap 4. Villeneuve is the fastest man on the track, and Frentzen has just gone faster. It really is fast and furious. Williams leads, Ferrari second, Williams third, Jordan fourth, and what a sensational race Ralf Schumacher is driving, because he's already right on the rear wing of Heinz-Harald Frentzen as there go the first two. There is Frentzen. That was Schumacher. This is Johnny Herbert, who's up to 5th place ahead of Panis. And there is the spinner. It is Jan Magnussen going out in the Stewart Ford into the gravel trap.
Yes, he's gone too wide into the first part of Aqua Minerale, and there's no way back from there. This track turns right for a second time, and you're heading off in the wrong direction, straight onto the beach where Magnussen ended up. His race is over.
Round about lap 20, and then at 2/3 distance in the 62-lap race, which is lap 40. But a lot of things could happen to disprove that. Meantime, David Coulthard is in 9th position now, and at the present moment, the interest obviously is at the front, because both Michael Schumacher and Heinz-Harald Frentzen are catching Jacques Villeneuve. Frentzen has just gone fastest. Every lap, they're going quicker and quicker. Yes, the fuel load is coming down, but not by much on a lap-by-lap basis. And Johnny Herbert there is not dropping back very much. He's still ahead of the top Bridgestone runner, who is Panish. There is Eddie Irvine. Behind Eddie Irvine is Fisichella. Ninth position is David Coulthard. Here are the leaders coming up to the toaster on lap 5 out of 62.
Villeneuve settled down a little bit now. I really do think it was his brake balance. He's got that where he wanted it, back to his dry setup. So he's settled down a bit, a couple of tenths ahead of the field on that last lap, and just easing that. He can relax a bit now and let the car roll, let the car run, and just stretch out that lead if his car's fast enough.
That's the man to watch, Johnny Herbert in 5th position. He is closing on Ralf Schumacher. His last lap was only a tenth of a second faster, but that's quicker nevertheless. Here is Eddie Irvine, 7th position. Fisichella, that's Coulthard. Hakkinen is in 10th place. 11th behind him is Alesi. And what an awful, awful meeting, Martin, the Benettons have had.
Yes, I spoke to Flavio Briatore, team boss, on the way up to the commentary box. It happened and said, look, Flavio, what is going on? That's Berger off the track. Gerhard Berger's gone off the track. I don't know where exactly. Could well be Acqua Minerale again, but that confirms what we were just saying. Yes, it is. It's Acqua Minerale, the first part. He's lost it on the way in, and as I said before, there's no way back from there because the track turns right and you're heading off to the left. I went off there myself in the race last year. It's bumpy on the way in. It just tends to walk the car a little bit wide, and when you realise it, it's too late to do anything about it. An experienced guy like Gerhard in his 200th race just shows you how hard you have to push and how easy it is to make a mistake.
Yeah, and that means that Jean Alesi is the only Benetton driver who is left in the race. Of the two who started, he is in 11th position as we watch. Race leader Jacques Villeneuve. Now, there is a man who lets pressure worry him not at all. In fact, Villeneuve seems to thrive on pressure. This is his 2nd season of Formula One Grand Prix racing, of course. He's the ex-Indianapolis champion. Frentzen there really needs to get up with his teammate. Ralf Schumacher, Johnny Herbert, Olivier Panis, Eddie Irvine, Giancarlo Fisichella, David Coulthard, and Mika Hakkinen. And for that matter, Martin, the McLarens aren't having much of a weekend.
Now, Ron Dennis said to me after Melbourne that he thought Melbourne would be the worst circuit for McLaren this year, and in fact it's proven to be the best circuit so far. They've really not shown that kind of pace or performance again, and they maybe have the same problem as Benetton. Briatore says to me, we cannot get this car to work in qualifying on the low fuel, low grip, and it's giving us too much work to do during the race.
Tougher on motor oil than Formula One drivers. The extreme stress and searing heat generated by their hard driving can break down an oil in no time. That's why the Williams-Renault F1 racing team uses Castrol, the only leading 10W30 that provides maximum protection against both viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because some people have more important things to worry about than motor oil. Castrol GTX. Drive hard.
With Heinz Darrell Frentzen in 3rd position. And there it's...
Thanks, William. Park it out back.
Yes, sir.
Acura, designed with purpose, driven by passion.
www.what? Look, the logo's rotating. Cool. Check this out. It's fully rendered. I like that. Cool. Check this out. Downloadable video clips. We should do this on our website. Okay. Look. Oh. Yes. Yes. Wait till the guys in marketing see this. We could get a flaming dancing logo. We can do that. We can do anything. Can you order any of this stuff? No.
IBM helps business websites do business.
Stop strategy, he could be in a strong position, although he's 24 seconds behind Villeneuve now.
This sports break is brought to you by Manulife Financial, helping you make better financial decisions.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the TSN Newsroom. I'm Darren Detition with this sports break. Big day for hockey fans. We've got 3 games going 7 tonight, both Canadian teams trying to win on the road. You've got the Senators in Buffalo, while the Edmonton Oilers are in Dallas, and both teams are confident heading in.
I think we're very comfortable where we are right now. Game 7 with the roster we have going in, we trust everybody in this room, so it's going to be a fun game.
In this series, home ice really didn't matter. Both teams play well on the road, so I don't think it's any big deal. We're just going in there looking at it like it's a must-win like we had at the end of the year.
And how about this for a dandy? The Coyotes and the Mighty Ducks are on the air tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time. We'll see you in an hour.
Lap we've had on lap 25, which is a very handsome lap.
Today, Sprint Canada unveils a revolutionary new savings plan.
From now on, you pay just 15 cents a minute. Any day, anytime, anywhere in Canada.
All day? 15 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Coast to coast?
Anywhere in Canada.
Only on weekends, right?
Wrong. All day, every day.
How about for small business?
15 cents a minute, all day, every day.
Get the most for the least. Call Sprint Canada at 1-800-THE-MOST today.
Feel free to call anytime.
When you see that 2,000% a year internet growth rate, you want to just jump in. Thing is, the internet can help you gain or lose a lot of customers very quickly. If you disappoint someone, they can tell a few friends or a few thousand. It makes it crucial to work with a computer company that has experience helping people do business on the net. Not to mention the world's fastest servers, like digital.
Digital, whatever it takes.
Berger are out of the race. That's Jean Todt, the top man at Ferrari, running in for some
clutch paddles and the gear shift paddles, and that's what's been giving them these intermittent lap times through the last few laps. And the new steering wheel didn't allow him to clear that clutch and to get it into first gear and drive off. They have got a way of getting the car out of the pits, but they've got the same problem if they stop again for fuel later on.
Well, this has completely transformed the World Championship because Jacques Villeneuve is a lap down and he is in 10th position and still there. He's losing places all the time. It looks to me as though the French-Canadian is likely to be retiring as he did in Australia. He is retiring, surely. Let's just wait and see what happens. They're pushing the car. Are they going to turn it round and drag it backwards into the garage? The answer is yes. No points for Jacques Villeneuve. 10 points potentially for Heinz-Harald Frentzen, who has yet to score in the Williams. And if we think he's coming in at the end of the next lap, which will be lap 44, and he's up with Mika Häkkinen, who's now in 6th position. And Frentzen is 6 seconds ahead of Michael Schumacher. He is 57 seconds, ahead of Fisichella. So Jordan is up in the points. So Williams leads, a Ferrari is second, a Jordan is third. The second Ferrari, good news for them from the Constructors' World Championship point of view, is in 4th place, Eddie Irvine. 5th is Alesi, 6th is Häkkinen, and they're having a terrific battle. Here is Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Is he going to win at Imola? Is he going to score his first World Championship points for Williams? If he does, he's going to move right up in the championship. But the man who is benefiting most in championship terms at the present moment is Michael Schumacher, who's 5th at the moment on 8 World Championship points. So he's currently on 6 points for 2nd place, and that could move him up into possibly 2nd place in the championship.
Significant moment there. Frentzen is on his in-lap, we believe, into his second stop, and both Jean Alesi and Mika Häkkinen pulled over and let him through very comfortably. He lost virtually nothing, and very professional, very correct, and an important part of Frentzen's afternoon, because Frentzen may be losing track position to Michael Schumacher. I think Frentzen will have a longer stop to James.
Well, Martin, Heinz-Harald Frentzen comes in. He won't have a better opportunity to win his first Grand Prix than this. And I can tell you that a heartbroken Jacques Villeneuve has only just 8.6 seconds. Good stop by Williams. A heartbroken Jacques Villeneuve has only just got out of his car. He just cannot believe it's happened to him.
Well, it has, and I'm sure he would be the first to say that's motor racing. Some you win, some you lose. Is Heinz-Harald Frentzen going to win, or is he going to lose? Is Michael Schumacher, there he is, going to win or lose? And at the present moment, of course, Michael Schumacher is in the lead because he has gone ahead of Heinz-Harald Frentzen as a result of the German's stop. Frentzen has stopped twice. Schumacher has stopped once. And Frentzen's stop in 8.6. Hello, what's that? That's Schumacher with... Now, is that oil leaking onto the manifold, or is it tyre smoke, or is it something more serious?
Fisichella in the pits. James, are you there? No.
So, Giancarlo Fisichella in fourth position in the Jordan, and that's a good stop, 8.7 seconds. So that means you'll have about 70 litres of fuel in.
I think it'll be a locked front right tyre for Schumacher. I think he locked his front wheel. Yes, he did. And the smoke came out through the Venturi at the back of the car, through the undertray, and it looked like an engine problem, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Schumacher coming in, and he's delayed a bit by Nicola Larini, who is now in 7th position. James?
Yes, rotten luck for Michael Schumacher. And only had that problem with his right front, but he also got stuck behind Larini on the way and lost quite a bit of time. But the 6.9 Ferrari turned him around really quick. Meanwhile, Villeneuve shaking his head at the back of his Williams garage. Just can't believe what's happened.
And Frentzen's gone through, so Frentzen has track position. That cost Schumacher a lot of time, that in-lap behind Larini, and then following him all the way into the pit lane. It's a great shame because they obviously put a lot of fuel in on the first stop to make his second stop that nice 6.9 second stop, but it hasn't worked for them. He lost it on the in-lap. Frentzen has track position. Now Schumacher's got all of the work to do.
Introducing the all-new, more powerful, better handling Honda Pretty. Choose your accessories with caution.
Not for Frentzen and not for Williams.
That's a 2-3 for Ferrari, but I suspect there'll be a few tears inside that crash helmet right now. Heinz-Harald Frentzen's been in Formula One a long time, and he's finally won a Grand Prix. It's been a tough season for him. Drove a brilliant race under pressure. Frank there will be pleased. He's been vindicated on some of his decisions, I guess. And there's Shuey. Brilliant performance from Shuey. 74 seconds ahead of his teammate. That's the kind of performance he's put in today. But Irvine coming home on the podium for the second consecutive Grand Prix to beat Fisichella. Fisichella's first points in Formula One motor racing. He'll be pleased with the 4th place. And a surprise 5th and 6th for Alesi and Hakkinen as they're pushing Frank down to take a great deal of trouble to be sure he's there to see Heinz-Harald Frentzen on the top step of the podium.
Well, joy unbridled in the Ferrari area. There are the mechanics knowing that they have finished their cars in 2nd and 3rd places. Sorry, in 3rd and 4th places. And there is the confirmation. And that means to say that the gap between Jacques Villeneuve, the World Championship leader, and Michael Schumacher, who's now moved up to 2nd place in the World Championship, is 6 points. With, believe it or not, 5 drivers tying equally on 10 points for 3rd position. David Coulthard, Gerhard Berger, Mika Hakkinen, Heinz-Harald Frentzen and Eddie Irvine, with Olivier Panis in 8th position in the World Championship.
Some athletic shoes will actually increase your performance. Brooks is one of those shoes. Some manufacturers use leading-edge technology. Brooks is one of those companies. And some companies have athletes endorse their products. Brooks is one of those companies. Of course, we don't pay them much. Brooks, for the everyday athlete.
Welcome back to TSN's continuing coverage of the Formula One circuit as Heinz-Harald Frentzen wins his first ever F1 race. You see Michael Schumacher exiting his car as well. Giancarlo Fisichella finished fourth. John Alesi was fifth. Eddie Irvine was in fact third. So it was indeed a good day for Ferrari. Gerald Donaldson rejoins us from San Marino, and let's start with Jacques. A disappointing day indeed for him.
Yes, Darren, I know what he'll be saying. I haven't spoken to him, but he will say, well, that's racing. He's very philosophical about this kind of thing. In fact, he didn't finish in the points here last year also, and then he went on to have a fairly terrific season. So the season is now about almost one quarter over. He's still confident in it now, and it's the way he wants it. And here he is on the top step of the podium.
Gerald will take this time out as they now play the German national anthem. Noted that 8 of the 22 drivers who started today's race did in fact not finish. Included amongst that group was Jacques Villeneuve. He still leads the driver standings, though, after 4 races with 20 points. But look who's hot in his heels. You have Michael Schumacher, who has 14 points. David Coulthard with 10. Heinz-Harald Frentzen now with 10. Eddie Irvine with 10. Gerhard Berger, who had a disappointing day indeed, also has 10 points, along with Mika Häkkinen, who has been the model of consistency so far this year as he has completed and competed in each and every race. Olivier Panis with 6 points. Ralf Schumacher with 4. Johnny Herbert, Giancarlo Fisichella. That's a nice story in itself. It's good to see him pick up some points, followed by Jean Alesi. Gerald, I wanted to ask you this. It had been such a trying effort for Heinz-Harald Frentzen. I thought perhaps down the stretch he might feel pressured by Michael Schumacher. Imagine having Schumacher hot on your heels with his 22 career victories, but yet Schumacher was getting all he could out of the car. He just couldn't close the gap on Frentzen.
Yes, I'm sure that the Ferrari was not capable of any more than Michael did with it today, because we know he is the best driver out there and gets the most out of his car. It was also quite a poignant moment up there in the podium because Frentzen and Schumacher, of course, are both from Germany, and their careers have run parallel throughout their racing lives. Poor old Heinz-Harald was left in the shadow by Michael. In fact, Michael even married Heinz-Harald's former girlfriend. So it'll be a sweet moment of victory for him here today, and as he tries to redress the balance between his arch rival and himself.
Well, it is a start for Heinz-Harald Frentzen, but he does, in fact, have a very, very long way to go. And so do we. We'll continue with our post-race coverage. We have to take another commercial timeout, but we will return with more in just a few moments. Stay tuned. You're watching Formula One Racing on TSN.
Starting your engine is a terrible thing to do. But when you do start your car, there isn't an engine treatment in the world that can give it the kind of protection Slick 50 can, because nothing else has Slick 50's unique chemistry. That's why Slick 50 engine treatment protects so well at startup and keeps on protecting even when you change your oil. You can reduce your engine wear up to 50%. What it takes is Slick 50.
Welcome back. Let's take a chronological look now at some of the more important moments of today's San Marino Grand Prix at Imola. Now, Jacques Villeneuve got a Formula One victory. Back with more in just a few moments.
McCain changed potatoes into crispy bite-sized taters.
It's McCain Tasty Taters.
Bite-sized taters, crispy and golden brown on the outside. Crispy, so they lock in all that tender potato flavor you love.
You love the crispy flavor in our bite-sized taters.
McCain Tasty Taters in crispy bite-sized tater flavors. Cheese, regular, or Cajun.
Crispy the flavor in our bite-sized taters.
McCain Tasty Taters, crispy flavor in a bite-sized tater.
Formula One Racing on TSN, presented by the Players Grand Prix of Canada, is brought to you by Molson Canadian, by Advantage, providing solutions for your business, by your Chrysler Canada dealer. We understand your vehicle. We understand you.
Jacques Villeneuve will look to bounce back in Monaco. It is, after all, his own backyard. We will have the race for you. May the 11th, we are on the air at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, our continuing coverage of auto racing will take place a little later on today. We've got the PPG Kart World Series, the Nazareth Grand Prix. That race tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And as if that's not enough, we've also got today's NASCAR race for you. It's the Winston Select 500. That goes to air at midnight tonight. That's 9 p.m. Pacific Time. We will hear from today's winner, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, when we return.